Thanks, Karen. And now, as mentioned, your Emory and Henry Reports feature interview. Again, I'm Daron Vaught, and joining me, Dr. Twange Kasoma, a mass communications professor here at Emory and Henry College. Dr. Kasoma, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome.
And Dr. Kasoma, as we mentioned earlier in the program, you're very involved in planning this international conference on science and media in your home country of Zambia in Africa. Could you just talk a little bit initially about what the general theme is of this conference?
Thank you. The general theme of the conference is environment, science journalism, media and politics, the African perspectives. And the idea behind the conference was to try and provide a platform where Africans could, share what has been going on that continent in as far as science, the media, politics are concerned. So we're really excited to host this particular conference.
Talk about Zambia's development as far as those two fields, science and media, are concerned, as compared to your experiences here in the States.
I would say we still somewhat lag behind. And one of the reasons we do lag behind in that particular area is that we haven't really taken up initiatives to do conference such as the one that's coming up, where we bring all Africans, around the same table to discuss some of the problems that they encounter in as far as science reporting is concerned, and also, talk about some of the best practices, because, we are not only focusing on problems, we're also focusing on, what are the best practices, what can we learn from each other. And then beyond Africans, we've also invited people from different parts of the world that are going to join us and also share their experiences. And so it's going to be more or less, a global village that's going to gather in Zambia to discuss science and the media.
So you mentioned a long list of invitees to this conference. Just talk about some of the process of deciding who to invite, who not to, and some of maybe the bigger names that may be present.
Okay. I'll start with some of the bigger names that are going to be present. We have one of our own renowned professors in Zambia. His name is Professor Prem Jain, who is Professor of Physics at the University of Zambia and holds the UNESCO Chair in Renewable Energy and Environment. And he's going to be presenting on the overview of climate change, science, causes, impacts, and mitigation in as far as the African continent is concerned. So we are really, really excited about, having him around. In fact, he's done a lot of work with a number of United Nations organizations, including United Nations Development Program, UNDP. And then we also have the Global Communication Association founder and chairperson, Professor Yaya Kamali-Paul, who is based at Purdue, who's going to join us and talk about, this topic from a global perspective or globalization perspective. And then we have Professor Hamlink from University of Amsterdam, who's also going to be, part of this conference. So those are three of, some of the most important names. In as far as Professor Hamlink is concerned, he's worked with the United Nations agencies at different levels, done work in public health and so on and so forth. And so he's going to be one of the featured guests at this particular conference. And then in as far as attendees are concerned, we have invited media practitioners from different parts of Africa and different parts of the world. We've invited non-governmental organization representatives. We've invited experts in science. We've invited civil society. We've invited corporate executives, that have work that relates to media, environment, and science. We've invited just journalists in general, to come and learn from this important gathering.
So you were at the University of Oregon prior to coming to Emory and Henry College, but you are from Zambia. So yes, obviously that has a lot to do with why you're putting this together. But why more specifically or more personally is it important you to really bring this thing together and make it happen?
It's really important to make this happen because, again, science and the media is one of those topics that has become a buzzword right now. And in a lot of other parts of the world, there are a lot of discussions and forums relating to science and the media. And so it would be, great to also have the African continent, part of, that bandwagon that is, concerned about science and the media, best practices, and so on and so forth. So, part of where me and my team that's working on this conference were coming from was to just kind of, integrate Africa into discussions that are already going on as far as science and the media is concerned.
So Dr. Kasoma, you also take a study abroad group of students here at Emory Henry College to Zambia every summer, and you'll also be doing both in the same summer here. Just talk a little bit about the study abroad experience, and I guess this will be the second time that you've done that?
This will be the second time. This is the second time I'm going to be taking another group of students to Zambia, and I'm really excited about that. And as far as that particular trip is concerned, students get to work with the Zambian media. They get to do mini internships with Zambian newspapers, Zambian radio, and Zambian TV. So I have 4 students in that class right now, and we've started talking about the history of the media in Zambia, how to, practice journalism in Zambia, and just kind of laying the groundwork so that when we go to Zambia, they'll be ready to just kind of take on the Zambian media. So that's exciting stuff.
So Dr. Kasoma, one more time, a little more about your past in Zambia. I noticed that it's the Kasoma Media Foundation. And I guess is that where you find a lot of your connections, of course, throughout the country of Zambia? Zambia, excuse me. How did that come about?
The Kasoma Media Foundation is a foundation that was set up in memory of my late father, Professor Francis Kasoma. The family came together after his passing in 2002 and decided to form a non-profit media training outfit that would commemorate his life. And so, talking of the Kasoma Media Foundation, they are actually the conveners of the conference that's going to take place in Zambia. And then together with the Kasoma Media Foundation, we have other cooperating partners. And some of those partners include the Media Institute of Southern Africa. We have Emory Henry College, our own Emory Henry College here, that is actually part of the conference sponsors. And then we have the Global Communication Association at Purdue University. And then we also have a number of United Nations agencies that are going to be part of us in as far as sponsoring this conference is concerned. So we're really, really excited.
So with this conference, as well as your study abroad trip, you'll be visiting home twice this summer. I know we talked a little bit before we came on. That'll be nice for you, more than you normally get to visit.
That's true. It's going to be nice to actually, get to, be back home more often than I normally do. But then it's also going to be a lot more work. So I'm kind of ready for both. So.
Well, Dr. Kasoma, we appreciate your hard work in putting all of this together, as well as you giving students here at Emory and Henry the opportunity to go to Africa and experience the media world there. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
And now let's follow up on the interview and take a closer look at Zambia. Karambio traveled to Zambia with Dr. Kasoma and put together this special video. Here's your Out and About.